Hi, everyone. I'm hoping you're having a good start to your day. This is going to be the video lesson for our ELA class for both Block 1 and Block 2. We're going to continue on with our lesson in showing, not telling your emotions. And we had a lot of fun yesterday with acting out the emotions, and you guys were just like so creative. So it made it a lot of fun. So thank you for that. So today we're going to, and let me see if I can get this one. Okay, you can see my video too. I want to make sure that you can see me as well. Okay, so today we are going to be reading from the reader. So if you haven't already gotten your materials, you will need your activity book and you will also need your reader as well. Let me move my screen over so that I will have everything all set to go. So if you need to go get your reader, pause for a moment and you can go and grab that. And I am just setting everything up to go. Okay, I think that's it. Okay, let me share my screen with you. Okay, so yesterday, we were describing our emotions by showing behavior rather than telling the behavior. Today, we're going to be quoting accurately from the text when tracking the author's emotions. So, before we read the rest of A View from Earth, I'd like to review some vocabulary words first immediately. So, the first word is treacherous. 3 syllables, treacherous. Treacherous means dangerous. So Mr. Flagg and I were on a treacherous trail on our way up to Mount Whitney. So it means dangerous. The next word is curvature. Curvature means the bend in something. So usually in space, they talk about the curvature of Earth. From space, they can actually see that the Earth is curved. So that's what curvature is, bent or curved. The next word is haven. A haven is a safe place. There are bird sanctuaries that are havens for birds so that hunters won't hunt them. The next word is detected, which means observed. And finally, detached, which means separated. So today, I am going to read to you the rest of A View from Earth. I want you to think of where the author actually describes Earth as we read. So what I'm going to do though is it's been a couple days since we've read A View of the Earth. I keep saying A View from Earth. It's A View of the Earth. So I'd like to do that now. So you can either follow along with me on my screen or you can follow along in your book. If you're following along in your book, it's page 51. Okay. Sorry. Oh, it's so much easier to teach in person. Okay, so follow along with me as I read. In 1984, I was a senior in college. I went to see the movie The Right Stuff, and a couple things really struck me in that movie. The first was the view out of the window of John Glenn's spaceship, the view of Earth. How beautiful it was on the big screen. I wanted to see that view. And secondly, the camaraderie, which means friendship and teamwork between the original 7 astronauts depicted in that movie. How they were good friends, how they stuck up for each other, how they would never let each other down. I wanted to be part of an organization like that. So I want you to take a look at this first page. Where does the author talk about the view from Earth and describe it? Do a quick skim and scan. If you found right here, and a couple of things really struck me in that movie. The first was the view out of the window of John Glenn's spaceship. The view of the Earth, how beautiful it was on the big screen. That quote right there shows us how the author feels about the Earth, the view of Earth. So what I'd like you to do now is, would you turn in your activity book to page 14.3, which is, oh gosh, I don't have page numbers. Okay, so 14.3. It says tracking the author's view of the Earth. In the first column, quote the 4 times the author describes the view of the Earth from space using the page number. Then for each quote, answer the questions in columns 2 and 3. So don't forget the quotations, and I'm going to type it and you're going to write it in your book. You might have to write a little bit smaller. When you write quotations, there might be a lot of words. And a couple of things really struck me in that movie, period. The first was the view out the window. You have to quote it exactly, of John Glenn's, Glenn's spaceship, hyphen, the view of the Earth, how beautiful it was on the big screen. And then you put page 51. A lot of times you can just put P.51. Okay, at this time, pause the video for a moment so that you can copy that down exactly into your activity book. Okay, so you've just written the quote. You probably unpaused, which is good. So now, what emotion is the author feeling? Well, in the book, it says, I wanted to see that view. So he's really, really yearning and wanting to see it. And so when we have that feeling, it's excitement. So he felt excited to be able to see it. So at this time, would you add, what emotion is the author feeling? And you say excitement. Very good. Okay, now last question. How did the Earth look to the author? Okay, this is where we're going to use his words here. How beautiful it was on the big screen. So how did it look to the author? Beautiful. Okay, excellent. So that was page 51. So now we're going to continue reading. You can pause it if you need to finish writing this down. We are going to continue reading, and from here, we are going to look for other descriptions of Earth, according to the author. So we are on page 52. And it rekindled a boyhood dream that had gone dormant over the years. That dream was to grow up to be an astronaut, and I just could not ignore this dream. I had to pursue it. So I decided I wanted to go to graduate school, and I was lucky enough to get accepted to MIT. While I was at MIT, I started applying to NASA to become an astronaut. I filled out my application and I received a letter that said they weren't quite interested. So I waited a couple years and I sent in another application. They sent me back pretty much the same letter. So I applied a third time, and this time I got an interview. So they got to know who I was, and then they told me no. So I applied a fourth time, and on April 22nd, 1996, I knew the call was coming, good or bad. I picked up the phone and it was Dave Leetsma, the head of flight crew operations at the Johnson Space Center in Houston. He said, "Hey, Mike, this is Dave Leetsma." I'm going to pause for just a second. My phone is ringing.